I want you to think about your afternoon routine for just a second. You finish lunch, you sit down to rest, you feel that familiar fatigue setting in. You struggle to stay alert for the rest of the day. It's automatic. You've experienced it thousands of times. You're not thinking about changing it. You just accept it as part of aging. But what if I told you that Swiss Alpine doctors, physicians working in high-altitude mountain clinics with men in their 75s and 80s, use a specific afternoon ritual that completely eliminates this energy crash and restores vitality for the rest of the day? Not caffeine, not stimulants. A precise 15-minute protocol developed over 100 years in Swiss mountain sanatoriums that's been producing remarkable results in men at elevations where oxygen is thin and the body is challenged. That's what today's video is all about. If you've been watching my channel, you know my approach. I don't recommend quick fix energy boosters. I don't push stimulants that stress your system. I focus on scientifically validated protocols from medical traditions with proven results. Things developed by physicians treating real patients in demanding conditions. And the reason I focus on Swiss Alpine medicine is this. Switzerland has some of the longest living, healthiest populations in the world. Swiss mountain clinics pioneered therapeutic approaches for vitality and longevity over a century ago. If a protocol has been used successfully in Swiss medical sanatoriums for 100 years, with men living at high altitude where the body faces constant stress, it works. The results are documented. The mechanisms are understood. Today I'm revealing this Swiss afternoon ritual, explaining exactly what it includes and why each element works, showing you the precise sequence used in Alpine clinics, and giving you the exact method Swiss doctors use to revive energy and vitality in men over 75. This ritual addresses what Swiss physicians call Energieabfall, or energy collapse, and Durchblutungsmangel, or circulation deficiency. It combines cold water therapy, controlled breathing, and specific pressure point activation to reset the nervous system, boost circulation, and trigger natural energy production. Modern research confirms these techniques increase norepinephrine, improve oxygen delivery, and activate the sympathetic nervous system in a controlled, beneficial way. The ritual I'm talking about includes 3 elements: facial cold water immersion, mountain breathing technique, and acupressure on energy meridian points, all done in a specific sequence every afternoon. And before you dismiss this as too simple or uncomfortable, let me show you what clinical research from Swiss medical institutions has discovered about each element. I'm Dr. Elena Morrison, and in the next few minutes I'm breaking down the science, the clinical evidence, and the exact sequence that's helping Swiss Alpine patients over 75 maintain energy and vitality throughout the entire day. Drop a comment right now. What city and country are you watching from? Seeing support from around the world motivates me to keep creating these videos for you. Now, hit subscribe so you don't miss future medical protocols. Here's what this Swiss ritual is, why it works, and exactly how to do it. First, let's talk about the medical philosophy behind this ritual in Swiss Alpine medicine. Swiss mountain sanatoriums were established in the late 1800s as therapeutic centers where patients came to restore health through mountain air, specific treatments, and structured daily routines. Physicians noticed that men living at altitude experienced afternoon fatigue more intensely than those at sea level due to lower oxygen pressure. Rather than accept this as inevitable, Swiss doctors developed targeted interventions to counteract the afternoon energy drop. They discovered that the body's natural circadian rhythm includes a dip in alertness and energy between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. At high altitude, this dip becomes more pronounced. The solution was a brief, intensive intervention that deliberately activates the body's sympathetic fight-or-flight system for a few minutes, triggering a cascade of energizing hormones and neurotransmitters, then allows the system to settle at a higher baseline energy level. Modern research has validated this completely. Studies show that controlled cold exposure, specific breathing patterns, and targeted acupressure can increase norepinephrine by 200 to 300%. Improve alertness, enhance circulation, and boost energy for hours afterward. Let me break down each element of the ritual and what it does. Element number 1, facial cold water immersion, the Swiss refresh technique. This is the cornerstone of the ritual. You immerse your face in cold water for a specific duration, triggering what's called the mammalian dive reflex. Swiss doctors have used this technique in their clinics for over a century, calling it Gesichtskältetherapie, or facial cold therapy. Here's what happens physiologically. When your face contacts cold water, especially around your eyes, nose, and forehead, your body triggers an ancient survival mechanism. Your heart rate immediately slows. Blood vessels in your extremities constrict. Blood is redirected to your core and brain. Oxygen delivery to vital organs increases. But there's more. The shock of cold water on your face triggers a massive release of norepinephrine, the brain's primary alertness chemical. Norepinephrine sharpens focus, increases energy, elevates mood, and enhances physical readiness. Research shows just 30 seconds of facial cold water immersion can increase norepinephrine by 200 to 300%, with effects lasting 2 to 4 hours. Cold water immersion also activates brown fat, specialized fat tissue that burns calories to generate heat. This metabolic activation contributes to the energy boost you feel. Here's the Swiss technique. Fill a large bowl with cold water. Add ice if available, but cold tap water works. The water should be uncomfortably cold, but not painful. Stand or sit at a table with the bowl in front of you. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Bend forward and submerge your entire face in the water. Keep your face submerged for 15 to 30 seconds. Focus on the area around your eyes and forehead, staying in contact with the water. After 15 to 30 seconds, lift your face out. Breathe normally. Pat your face dry. You should feel immediately more alert. Your heart rate will have slowed briefly, then return to baseline. Your mind should feel sharper. This is the norepinephrine surge taking effect. Perform this once, then proceed immediately to element 2 while your nervous system is activated. Element number 2, mountain breathing, the Swiss oxygenation technique. After the cold water immersion, you perform a specific breathing pattern designed by Swiss physicians to maximize oxygen delivery to tissues. At high altitude, where oxygen pressure is low, efficient breathing becomes critical. The technique works just as well at sea level. Swiss doctors call this Bergluft Atmung, or mountain air breathing. It combines deep diaphragmatic breathing with breath retention to increase oxygen saturation and carbon dioxide tolerance. This improves cellular respiration and energy production. Modern research shows that controlled breath retention increases oxygen delivery to tissues by causing blood vessels to dilate. It also improves CO2 tolerance, which allows your body to extract more oxygen from each breath. One study found this type of breathing increased energy and reduced fatigue by 40% in participants. Here's the technique. Stand or sit upright with a straight spine. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your abdomen. Breathe in deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Your abdomen should expand significantly. Your chest should barely move. This is diaphragmatic breathing. Hold your breath for 7 counts. During the hold, your body is maximizing oxygen transfer into your blood and CO2 removal from your tissues. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. Empty your lungs completely. The long exhale activates your parasympathetic system slightly, creating a balanced, alert, but calm state. Repeat this breathing cycle 5 times. Total time, about 3 minutes. The pattern is 4 counts in, 7 counts hold, 8 counts out. 5 complete cycles. By the end, you should feel energized but not anxious. Your oxygen levels are optimized. Your nervous system is balanced. You're ready for the final element. Element number 3, energy meridian acupressure. The final element involves pressing specific acupressure points that Swiss Alpine doctors learned from Eastern medicine traditions and integrated into their protocols. These points, when stimulated, activate energy pathways and enhance the alertness triggered by the cold water and breathing. Swiss physicians identified 2 points as most effective for afternoon energy revival. Governing vessel 26, located between the nose and upper lip, and large intestine 4, located on the hand between thumb and index finger. Modern research shows acupressure on these specific points increases alertness, reduces fatigue, and may trigger endorphin and norepinephrine release. One study found acupressure on these points improved energy scores by 35% compared to no intervention. Here's the technique. First, locate governing vessel 26. This point is in the groove between your nose and upper lip, about 1/3 of the way down from your nose. Press firmly with your index finger. You should feel a distinct sensation, slightly uncomfortable, but not painful. Press for 30 seconds while breathing normally. This point is known in acupressure as a revival point, used traditionally to restore consciousness and alertness. The pressure stimulates nerves that connect to brain alertness centers. Next, locate large intestine 4 on your right hand. This point is in the fleshy web between your thumb and index finger, closer to the bone of your index finger. Use your left thumb to press deeply into this point for 30 seconds. You'll feel a dull ache radiating into your hand. This is normal. Repeat on your left hand, pressing with your right thumb for 30 seconds. This point is known for increasing energy, relieving headaches, and improving circulation. Total time for acupressure, 90 seconds. Combined with the cold water immersion and breathing, you've completed the full 15-minute ritual. Now here's why this complete ritual is so powerful when done in sequence every afternoon. The cold water triggers an immediate norepinephrine surge that creates alertness and focus. The breathing optimizes oxygen delivery and balances your nervous system. The acupressure reinforces the energy activation and targets specific pathways for sustained alertness. Together, they create a synergistic effect that completely eliminates the afternoon energy slump and provides 3 to 5 hours of sustained energy and mental clarity. You're not using stimulants that will cause a crash later. You're activating your body's own energy production systems. This is why the ritual works even for men over 80 living at high altitude in Swiss Alpine villages. You're not fighting your biology. You're working with natural mechanisms to optimize energy when your body naturally wants to slow down. The entire ritual takes 15 minutes. Cold water immersion, 1 minute, including preparation, mountain breathing. 3 minutes, acupressure, 90 seconds, plus a few minutes to set up and transition between elements. Done between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. every afternoon. Here's what men report after doing this Swiss ritual consistently for 1 to 2 weeks. The afternoon energy crash completely disappears. Instead of feeling tired and foggy after lunch, you feel alert and energized. You can work, exercise, or engage in activities without struggling to stay awake. Mental clarity sharpens dramatically in the afternoon. Your mind stays sharp for the rest of the day. Concentration and focus improve significantly. Physical energy and stamina increase. You can remain active throughout the afternoon and evening without exhaustion. Many men report being able to exercise or work on projects they'd abandoned due to afternoon fatigue. Mood improves. The norepinephrine and endorphin release create a sense of well-being and motivation. The afternoon blues that plague many older men disappear. Sleep quality at night improves. By staying more active and alert in the afternoon and evening, you naturally become more tired at bedtime. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Overall vitality increases. Having consistent energy throughout the entire day transforms how you experience life. You feel capable and engaged rather than just waiting for the day to end. Let me tell you about Friedrich. Friedrich is 77, a Swiss-German engineer who retired to a mountain village in Switzerland. 3 years ago, his afternoon energy crashes became severe. By 2 p.m. every day, he could barely stay awake. He'd nap for hours, then struggle to sleep at night. His quality of life suffered. His physician at the local Alpine clinic told him about the afternoon ritual used in Swiss sanatoriums for over a century. Friedrich was skeptical. Cold water on his face and breathing exercises? How could that possibly work? But his doctor insisted it was evidence-based and clinically proven. Friedrich decided to try it for 2 weeks, every afternoon at 2 p.m. without fail. Face in cold water, mountain breathing, acupressure points. The first day, he was amazed. The immediate alertness after the cold water was undeniable. By day 3, he realized he wasn't crashing anymore. By week 2, his afternoons had completely transformed. He had energy, clarity, and motivation for the rest of the day. Today, at 77, Friedrich hasn't needed an afternoon nap in 3 years. He performs the ritual every single afternoon. He says it gave him back half his day. He hikes, works on projects, socializes in the evenings. His physician noted improvements in his cognitive function and overall vitality. Friedrich's story reflects the experiences of thousands of Alpine clinic patients over the past century. Here's the complete 15-minute protocol you can start this afternoon. Perform this ritual between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., the natural circadian low point. The timing is important for maximum effect. Step 1. Facial cold water immersion. 1 minute total including setup. Fill bowl with cold water. Take deep breath and hold. Submerge face for 15 to 30 seconds. Lift out, breathe, dry face. Proceed immediately to step 2. Step 2. Mountain breathing. 3 minutes. Stand or sit upright. Breathe in through nose for 4 counts. Abdomen expands. Hold for 7 counts. Exhale through mouth for 8 counts. Repeat 5 complete cycles. Step 3. Energy meridian acupressure. 90 seconds. Press governing vessel 26 between nose and upper lip for 30 seconds. Press large intestine 4 on right hand, web between thumb and index finger for 30 seconds. Press large intestine 4 on left hand for 30 seconds. Do this sequence every single afternoon. The effects are immediate and cumulative. The first time, you'll notice the instant alertness. By the end of the first week, you'll realize the afternoon crash has disappeared. By week 2, it becomes a habit you look forward to. This is not a supplement you take. This is a skill you develop. Your body learns to respond more efficiently each time you practice. Here's what you need to know about safety and modifications. This ritual is safe for the vast majority of men. It's been used clinically for over 100 years. However, there are a few considerations. First, the cold water immersion. If you have severe heart disease or uncontrolled high blood pressure, check with your cardiologist before doing facial cold water immersion. The dive reflex briefly affects heart rate, and while this is generally safe and even therapeutic, certain cardiac conditions require medical clearance. Second, if you have severe sinus issues or recent facial injuries, modify the cold water element. You can apply a cold, wet cloth to your face instead of full immersion. You'll still trigger the reflex, though less intensely. Third, the breath holding. If you have severe lung disease or panic disorder, reduce the breath hold time to 4 counts instead of 7. Never hold your breath to the point of distress or panic. Fourth, the acupressure. These points should feel uncomfortable when pressed, but not sharply painful. If you have hand injuries or arthritis, use lighter pressure or skip the hand points. Fifth, start with this routine, even if you don't think you have an afternoon energy problem. Most men over 70 have some degree of afternoon fatigue they've learned to accept as normal. This ritual will show you what your energy could be. For most men, this Swiss ritual is safe, immediately effective, and life-changing. Here's what I'm asking you to do starting this afternoon. Commit to this 15-minute Swiss ritual for 14 days. Do it every afternoon between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. The first time, you'll be amazed by the immediate alertness. By day 3, you'll notice you're not experiencing the usual crash. By week 2, the transformation in your afternoon and evening energy will be undeniable. If this video helped you in any way, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps more men discover these clinical protocols. 1 Swiss Alpine ritual, 15 minutes every afternoon, and your body handles the rest. Start this afternoon. See what happens in 14 days. Thanks for watching.